Ready. Play.
So like with Novak, obviously, he plays that good first match, gets through it again, and then when he's coming off the court, then he's not looking, and a fan leans over, water bottle slips out of their bag, and hits him, pretty hard in the head. So, and obviously it was a very shocking moment, and probably hurt quite a bit, and he was in the hospital, and then yeah, we have that moment that John put up on the screen there, and then of course, then he comes in the next day wearing a helmet, making a good joke out of it, which I thought was actually pretty funny. And then and then afterwards, we're like, okay, yeah, so I think he's good to go and play. And then he shows up on the court the next day, and he just does not look like Novak at all. I mean, just rushing in between points, like completely just going for bailout drop shots, like double faulting on all the big moments, and just looked like he wanted to be anywhere but on the tennis court. It was like the closest thing I've seen to Vienna 2020 when he played Sonego after he got the world number one ranking. But yeah, it was just he couldn't really explain it right in his press conference. He was like, I don't know if it's the water bottle. I'll have to go and do some checks and see. And he wasn't ruling it out. So, what do you sort of
Yeah,
make of that in terms of the performance that you saw, and also within the context of his whole season so far?
if he had a concussion, then it's very explainable. If he didn't,
Yeah.
no clue. I mean, we've definitely had some pretty weird performances from Novak this year. Not only this one. 12 and
Mhm.
5 for the year, I think he is. Obviously, for
Yeah.
like Djokovic standards, that's absolute trash.
Yeah.
Two semifinals. And what can he do? I mean, I think by now it's just clear that he thinks he needs more match rhythm because he's signing up for Geneva. We're probably
Yeah.
going to talk about that later as well, maybe about his chances. But like in terms of the sheer decision, of course, this is something that he did in 2021 as well, winning Belgrade and Roland Garros. I don't know if after a few years, is it still possible for him to do this physically? Maybe he's just gonna. Well, I mean, I don't even know if he's gonna win Geneva, given basically the yeah, again, like the physical aspect and where he has been this year, and just sort of, yeah, no titles yet, no finals yet, and generally not looking like the world number one. But there's always that chance that he just fires up. There's always that chance because he's the greatest of all time. And I basically have no idea what to expect from him at Roland Garros. I can't yet join the, Novak has declined to a point where he won't win anything team. I don't think it's anywhere close to me saying that, but it's definitely one of the most worrying seasons that he's had, especially as there doesn't seem to be like an underlying physical condition behind it, right? Like there's no big injury to speak of. It's kinda either just a horrible year, the worst he's had in yeah, ages, or just actually decline, yeah.
Yeah. I guess Roland Garros itself will tell us whether or not it's actually a real decline, like the whole Roland Garros Wimbledon Olympics stretch.
Yeah.
But in terms of him playing Geneva, was probably not something most people expected. But it does make sense given that he has short on matches.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that he wants to get some match rhythm for sure, that he thinks he needs it. I was not expecting it at all, for sure, despite the early Rome exit. But yeah, as I said, I mean, he's done it once before. It's probably a good way of actually getting some quality practice in. 4 matches in Geneva only, potentially. You can get some actually, some really tough opponents. It's definitely
Yeah.
going to be a stronger run if he goes until the end. It's gonna be a stronger run than that Belgrade 2021 title, because that was what Moraing, Martin, Molchan,
Yeah.
Korea.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
no top 50 players at the time. Molchan and Korea, of course, got to the top 50 eventually, but probably not at the time. So here, I mean, he might literally face Yannick Hanfmann at altitude in the first round or first match for him, actually. So yeah, it's going to be much tougher than that Belgrade 2021, which maybe even is good for him. I don't know.
Yeah. Could be good. We'll see if he actually is able to play 4 matches, or maybe he gets 2 really physical tests and then pulls out. that's also an option. So yeah, and then we'll also see. I think for Novak, also the biggest indicator is also like his motivation, like where he's sort of at more than the other two
Yeah.
members of the big three. It's more about his motivation than like physical decline, maybe. But we'll see. Like, um, yeah, has been kind of a strange year. Like,
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.